Hello everyone, Sriram here. Thanks all viewers enjoying this success story. When we watch other success story, we get motivated. So that's the reason we watch this. I know that. And we watch sometime a good sports program, maybe a good athlete running on. We feel more energy. The same thing happens when we see somebody clears the examination, that to one of the reputed certificate like PMP, a top rated one in the world, right? So we have with us a Sowmya, who cleared just let's say 24 hours back or maybe 28 hours back. She cleared PMP, and she cleared in the new pattern in the sense of 2021, having predictive, adaptive, agile, everything is there. Basically, she's not from agile background, but she said, oh, I did it well. So congratulations to Sowmya for this wonderful achievement. Hey. Great. Okay, great.
Thank you so much, Sriram.
Yeah, we can see great smile in her face. Little nervous also. Yes, Amia.
Yeah, than the PMP, the hot seat makes it nervous.
Even in the exam, she didn't feel nervous. The moment you put in front of camera, people feel, oh my God, the whole world watching me. Yeah. Yes, it is true. When you clear PMP, you become a top-rated person. It's not about the certificate paper. It is about the discipline you brought in the last 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, which makes you a different person than a normal person keep sitting the same place, not trying much. So her LinkedIn got pretty busy. First, we have to see that. Okay, we'll go see a post and come back. Okay, what's the hit rate now, Soumya, with the LinkedIn?
I think somewhere around 8,000.
8,000, 9,000 people viewed your posts already. Ah, very good. This has happened only in last 16 hours of time. Okay, so apart from that, she's so excited. Okay, how much she excited, you know? She got certificate last night. Within last night, she found a place and she want to frame it. Okay. So now she framed it and put a very beautiful look for this certificate. Fantastic. By the way, is it a frame of a 6 by 6 size where you can put on a wall?
Um, yeah, not a 6 by 6, but I think somewhere around 8 or something, 8 into 12 or something. I'm not sure.
So you're going to keep in your desk in your corporate or hang on a wall, kind of.
uh, it would be in my room. So morning before I wake up and before I go hit the bed, it's
You
gonna
want to
be
see
an
that.
inspiring thing.
You want to see that every day. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
I remember one of our training program, we showed one of a certificate of somebody, which is with a wooden frame. Okay, and maybe she got an inspiration out of that and she did it. But again, I appreciate it because only a person cross through this hard work. When you get that, you feel it. If you're not done it, if you look at it, it look, oh, come on, yeah, for a certificate, why this much? But when you go kneel down, pray the God, cry and clear the exam, that feel is totally different. So that's what she did it. So once again, congratulations to her. And with this, I'll give to Soumya to listen about what actually happened, including preparation and examination, because we are hearing the intensity is slightly gone high. She will say, no, slightly, heavily. Okay. So
Maybe.
as I'm seeing for PMP for the years, we see that slightly it's getting high. I'm using the word getting high. Okay. So let's give back to Soumya. Yes, Soumya.
Firstly, thanks a lot, Sriram, for the wishes. And yeah, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be possible without you, your guidance, especially, and your support. You're always there pushing from behind. Come on, you have to get it. You have to get it. That's the push what is very much required. That was always there. And this is my very first certificate what I'm getting done after my education. And it was more like a challenge to myself. I heard it from one of my friends. He said PMP certification. I was like, okay, what's PMP? I didn't know what it was also. So it was just last year. We just spoke somewhere in the month of Feb and project management for professionals. I was like, okay, project management was something what I always had an inclination and passion towards. So I was like, okay, let me see how it is. Then he said it's the toughest one. It's not that easy. He scared me actually. I was like, okay, tough. It's not easy. Okay, now let me dive into it. Let me see how tough it is. It was like a more like a challenge for myself. So I just checked, and one day I just spoke to Rahul, and he was the one who referred. My friend referred me to ShriLearning, and he said Sriram is the coach. Just close your eyes and go get it done. So I was like, okay, fine. If he's saying, I mean, he's a person who's not too much into studies. His
Oh.
name is Karthik. He's not someone who's too much into studies. He was your student as well. So
Mhm.
when he says, I was like, okay, then something is out of the box here. So I just checked a minute of video of yours. I was like, it was like too interactive. I've seen other videos, but then it's more like one-way traffic. So it's more of listening, radio on mode. So I didn't want something like that. And I just saw that you had picked up a lot of day-to-day activities along with your project management. So that helped you connect the dots. So that was like more close to your heart. So I was like, okay, this is the place where I want to get it registered. Just one day before the batch could start in May, that's when I got it registered. So I am basically from the May batch, but it did take a long time for me. But yeah, I'm happy about it. And yes, it's a very, very long journey.
Long term is always good. Sometimes I feel it's good because management is a subject which you have to digest it. If you rush it, it's good if you already have experience. If you don't have an experience, I would recommend to digest the way what you did. It takes time to get the content, and then you go for the examination. So it stays with you for a long time. Right? That's important.
True.
Great,
True.
great, great.
Personal management, I have a huge experience. When it comes to professional management of the projects, there I was a little behind. So maybe this would give me a driving force now.
Great, great, great. So, which country, which city you are?
I'm from Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yes.
Okay. How is management looked into a city like Bangalore? Because the Silicon Valley of India, where the market boom is totally on technology front. How do you see management industry here?
I mean, how much of a far the technology goes, your management is required from the day you begin till the end of the day, from your personal to your professional life. So it's just inbuilt within you. You just need to trigger it out. That's the only thing what I see. Management is there everywhere.
Right, right. You rightly said. Also, with the current trend, I don't see you have to go to a different city and work. You can be here, connect to any city. Only thing you should know the skills of managing things effectively. Fantastic. Well
True,
said.
true.
Great. With this, let's understand what kind of mindset when you came for the books. Do you have a knowledge already about management when you open the books, or you're fresh to that area in the sense
I mean,
of end to end? Of course, everybody in the project, everybody know bit and piece, but are you a bit and piece? You know the information, or you know whole cycle?
it was all little bits and pieces. I would not say just the bits and pieces. It's even more tiny for me. So
Right.
that way, and then I just went by your advice.
Ah,
Rita, I tried reading PMBOK first, but the language was like really high level and it was very dry. And I'm not a person who can sit and read such dry, and I'm not an avid reader. So I found Head First had a lot of picturization, visual effect was there. So that was like even more. So I could just grasp Head First really quick. And
okay.
then I switched to Rita. Head First was just what do you say, the trigger to start reading.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
that's the first step. And then later I moved to Rita. Rita ninth edition, I have read it. And I made sure I'm not finishing the book just to finish it.
Mhm.
Instead, I took time, read, understood the concepts. I didn't want to reread the same concept over and over again. So in
Mhm.
one go, I have to understand the concept. I should not be flipping the pages and reading back what's the concept again. So that part I was pretty clear on.
Right.
And then Rita ninth edition was the only thing. And then later I started with the prepcast. I gave all the mocks. And whatever doubts I had, I went and referred back to PMBOK because I was clear on Rita ninth edition. So I went and referred to PMBOK. PMBOK has these keywords. Like,
Mhm.
for example, in voting, we have reaching the consensus or single course of action. So there was one question which I saw in Prepcast. So that's when I was like, what is the single course of action? I've not seen this word in Rita. So that's
Mhm.
when I checked in PMBOK, I saw this. So I was like, okay, then certain terminologies I should be familiar with.
Nice. 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 Okay. When you talk about preparation, you didn't do individually. So you did something called group study. So many have this question, hey guys, will the group study work? In management, the problem is each manager will think different. Each leader will think different. It's definitely both cannot think same way, but still, how good you support group study as you
Uh,
did?
I yeah, I would definitely say you should be having a group. And I mean, it was not a huge group. It was just myself and one of our fellow aspirants. His name is Mani. So he is very much predominant in his agile concept, and I was dominating in predictive. So there, the hybrid actually happened. So whatever brain mapping what I had for predictive, he picked it up, and whatever agile knowledge he had, I picked it up. So it was a mutual exchange. What happened there? So we were more of consensus. There was no any like each one accepted the way how the others' knowledge is. So that's more important than like saying like, no, I am dominant in this, so I know this better. No, we never went that. Not even a single time we had a conflict or anything. Absolutely nothing. It was more like, how do I say? I just met him in this batch, but we gelled well really fast, and there was no any miscommunication or anything. We made sure our planning was proper, and I'm a late owl, whereas he's an early bird. So that way I was able to stretch my time, and he's from US. So I had to stretch, and I mean, I preferred sitting late night and studying. So we did group studies. We discussed the topics with PMP terminologies, agile terminologies, and then we did the mock. We did mock individually. Then we did the retrospective of both the correct and the wrong answers. And then he's like super knowledgeable in procurement. So a lot of concepts I learned from learned of procurement.
Perfect.
That way it was really good. I mean, a lot of questions which came in procurement, I was in certain questions, even while doing mock, if I'm stuck somewhere, I like, okay, if money is in this place, how will he think? And if I don't get the answer, I'm like, okay, if Sriram is here, how will he think? That's how my mind started to map.
Nice.
That really helped.
Nice to know.
If you are doing it alone, it's like it's only your knowledge what's there. You're not thinking out of the box.
Right.
Here you think out of the box, you think from different perspectives. That really helped a lot.
Well said, well said. So thanks, credits goes to Mani as well, who is supporting, who is going to go exam in a few days.
Very much. Yeah.
So, one thing I liked both of you when I connected with both of you for a sync up, what you guys are doing, that you are writing an examination, I mean, practice exam. After the practice exam, you people are evaluating the questions one by one together. When you do together, what happens is chances are sometimes the angle of what we are seeing the answer, the other person seeing will vary. So that gives a good amount of learning faster and better way. Sometimes we call as a pair programming in extreme program. There's something XP, it's an agile. They call pair programming. Pair programming is kept to see that two people are in the same situation or a problem where get a different views there. So really like it. So I recommend many people can go for a group study. Group doesn't mean 4 or 5 people. Even 2 is good enough for you. But again, that should go gel up well. That's very important. Okay, that part is pretty good. Now coming on the part of, you started from 2020 where PMP was discussing something in a different pattern. Now in 2021, slightly changed, okay? Because the same knowledge area exists, stakeholder communication, integration, nothing changed big. Agile is predominantly added more, hybrid model came more. So how do you balance this transition from there to here?
Okay, I would say I was like pretty dominant with the 49 process sheet and the flow, how it goes. So that was like very much clear. And for Agile, I have read only from PMBOK and from nowhere else. And there were certain documents which were circulating, which had this visual picturization, like the Scrum team, the 5 Scrum events. So those helped me pick the Agile really fast for me. So what happened was I understood predictive methodology in one, and then Agile separately. Later on, when we formed the group and then when we started working on the prepcast, that's when the hybrid model came into picture. So in what difficulty we both actually found was, when it comes to predictive, the document is given preference. When it comes to Agile, your action makes the preference out there. So when it comes to hybrid, that's where the question comes. Should we choose document or should we choose the action? So there, a little bit of I mean, we were like not sure which to select. So certain questions in the prepcast where you select the documentation, whereas certain questions would select the course of action. So depending on the context, depending on the situation, what situation they are saying and how the team reacts, if they speak about the team, then you'll have to take the course of action. If they say how the project manager has to do and how should he go about, if it's a predictive come adaptive model and only in the execution phase where the agile is being taken care, then you'll have to think about the predictive documentation, what needs to be predominant there. So that way we figured it out, and then we did a lot of retrospective. A lot of questions were raised to you, like, Sriram, how do we approach this hybrid? Both are separate as like fine. When they come together, how do we manage it? So
Yeah,
a lot of questions we
yeah.
asked you as well.
Whenever I open my WhatsApp in the morning, I'll see few messages from you, lot of pictures. I'll say, okay, the day started. So I have to read the question and see where it's failing, what's the problem there. But anyway, all interesting questions. Thanks for sharing. Okay, now all this background preparation already. Now let's go to the Olympics day. The day when was it a proctor based or was it center based? What was the experience of the exam?
It was a center-based exam, and I took it in Shivaji Nagar atrium building. So it was pretty good. I mean, it didn't take much time, so everything was like fine. There was no issue with my documentation. I just showed my driving license, so that worked well. And the exam was supposed to start at 8 a.m. in the morning, but then I reached by around 7 or 7:05. So I just got into by 7:15, 7:30. We had to be there by half an hour. So I started my exam somewhere around 7:45.
So there is no
And
time limit. There is no time thing that 8 o'clock only exam will start. Once you
yeah,
be there, once you complete all the formalities, they will allow you to write the exam.
yes, yes.
Okay, give little on the formalities. You can carry either of one ID card which has your photo and your name spelling perfectly mentioned as per the application.
Yes, you can carry one ID card, but then you should not, I mean, you should be having the name exactly as per what you have given for the certification. That's very
Perfect.
important because I had carried passport, I had carried my PAN card, all the possible government IDs I had carried because I was not sure how it's going to happen. Because in my passport, it is Sowmya Narayanan, whereas
Oh,
the official other IDs has Sowmya N. So I was
okay.
not sure. When I gave passport, initially they said, no, Narayanan is not there. So the expansion is not allowed. So we need some other ID. So then I gave my driving license.
Indian driving license is powerful. So you had 3 ID cards with you. Did you carry your college ID card, office ID card? No?
Unfortunately, I didn't have any of those. So I didn't carry them.
Okay, one ID card is good, which is clear with the details. Well said. Do they ask for any printout of your hall ticket when your nothing is needed?
No, they don't ask
They don't
because
ask.
it'll be predefined with their in their system. So they just verify with your name
Right.
and signature. We'll have to do a signature and then they take a photo of you.
Got you. Got you. And do they give a locker key to hand over all your okay stuff? So are
Yeah.
they allowing you to wear the sometimes you wear bracelets? Are they allowing that or are they asking you to take it off?
They didn't specifically ask me to remove any of it because I have a band in my hand. I didn't go
And
to wear any of the ornaments, but this band, they didn't even question me anything. Maybe because in the Indian culture they do that, so they didn't even bother to ask anything.
I remember when I written the exam, they check to remove the gold chains, what any chains you wear, and take off any bangle, all stuff. They asked to remove it. I think depends. I believe things are changing. I
Yeah,
did 5 years back. Things are changing. Okay.
maybe it's metal.
Okay.
Maybe it's a metal they would have asked, and this is a thread, so
Not
maybe
sure.
that could be the reason. Not
But the
sure.
scanning would have happened, right? You have any sense of things? They would have scanned you.
No, they didn't scan. They just
Oh,
asked to pat. They just asked to pat the shoulders uh, and then all over the body. That's it. They didn't.
that's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
Maybe saw me a special entry. Oh, okay.
My day was good. The
A
start was
special
good.
Tirupati special darsana. Okay. Okay, let's get to the game. So once you go to the exam things, first a few minutes, do they play any educational video?
There would be a 15-minute video what would be played, and it'll help you understand how exactly you need to do the exam, the center-based one, or even if it's proctor, you still have the same logic. And they would be like how you have to use your strike through, how to use a calculator, and how you have to take your break, and how you have to end the exam, end your break. All those basic information would be given.
Mm, I understand. But they're given you also a plastic sheet with a marker to note down anything you want to go.
Yes.
Very good. Superb. Superb. Okay, now the first question. Was it a was it a Shoaib Akhtar bouncer ball or was it a better ball to meet?
It was a combination of Shoaib Akhtar with Brett Lee. Then you know how it would be.
So the bouncer.
Way beyond the level.
Did you pinch and check? Am I in the PMP or some other exam?
Even pinching didn't work for me, Sriram. The first 20 questions, I mean, I'm reading the question, nothing is entering my head. My eyes are reading, and then we have to wear a mask. It's compulsory. So that way I could at least do a little bit of lip sync in that case. So
Oh,
that I tried to read it a little bit, understand, so that I'll be able to grasp it in my mind. But the first 20 questions were like combination of Shoaib Akhtar and Brett Lee. Nothing entered my mind. I was like, what's wrong with me? I tried relaxing. I took deep breath using the mask. With the mask, I took deep breath, and it's like carbon dioxide again re-entered. So I had to remove my mask a bit and then take again a deep breath so that I get oxygen. So all those I tried, but the first 20, it was like super lengthy, close to 3 to 4 lines of the question alone. And the answers, the options, what they had also had like 1.5 line or 2 lines, all were two-liners. So one thing I had made up my mind: if I see a lengthy question, I'm not gonna freak out. So every question I just attended with a smile. I'm like, okay, this I should be knowing. So I had that kind of a right attitude. So the presence of mind was very much required.
maybe they have artificial intelligence. Whoever smile towards a question, they'll give another tough question.
The first 60 was like that.
They would have seen she's still smiling. Give one more tough question.
Yeah, they are. It's more psychometric. So I don't know if they are using something like that. Possible. Can't say. So when they did psychometric, I had to play the mind game again to them. There's no other option for me.
Good. You did that. So, how is there a time management on the questions? Are you able to control in time? What was happening there?
In the mock, I had solid 60 minutes in my hand when I did. So I was like pretty confident. Okay, time management, I need not even think about it. It's like, okay, I'll be able to manage it. When I went there, the first 20 questions shook that time management confidence in me. I took 40 minutes for 20 questions. I was like, no, this is not going to happen. I'll have to reduce. And that's when my mind started to sink only after the 20th question. And then later I went a little fast, but still it took me around 85 minutes to complete 60 questions. Then I made sure I took the break, 10 minutes, relaxed, had lots of chocolate. The one whole dairy milk, I just finished within 3 minutes. So it was like that much of glucose rush was needed for me.
Okay.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to let this go. Whatever
somebody,
is happening.
somebody seen you in the exam hall would have felt. In the middle of the exam, this girl is having chocolate. Look at the way she's enjoying the life.
But the best part was I was still smiling, looking at the person who was there in the reception. She's like, okay, this female looks, she's eating so fast. Still, she's smiling. So she's okay, she's done it well. I think she had that perplexed expression on her face, and she also smiled back. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, let me keep that smile always till that 180 question.
Got you. So now we know people, process, environment is there. Also, we know that agile is blended inside. How is the question in a sense? Are you able to differentiate this is agile, this is non-agile? Are you able to see that in the exams?
96% was hybrid.
Oh man. When I say hybrid, it's a mix of traditional with agile coming together.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. Hmm. Then it is tougher.
So
Okay.
there's nothing like predictive. There was reverse hybrid also. Usually we have seen that this organization wasn't predictive, now they're following agile. But now they have done it like the organization was agile, now they're moving towards predictive. So the
Oh,
reverse was also there. So you will have to train your mind. Okay, first is agile, then it's predictive.
I understand. That's tougher. I got your point. Why it is tougher. Okay, that's fine. Now coming back on the mathematics, do they ask more mathematics? How is it?
Not much. There was only one question where they had given few numbers, and you just need to do your mind calculation and finally see how the project is performing, like
Hmm.
over budget or under budget, ahead schedule or on schedule. So it's like that. So most of the questions were like that. They just give the SPI, CPI, and all the numbers possible, and then you just need to do your mind calculation. And there'll be like a little tricky. You just need to look out for the keyword.
Got
It
you.
looks very simple, but the first time when you read, it looks okay, it's under budget. Later, when you just reread it again, then you like, okay, this is not under budget, this is over budget. So it's a little trick played there.
I understand. I understand. Okay, that's fine. Doable, I believe. And coming back on the choices model, multi-choice, match the following. But does it make it easy or it is getting tougher, which is consuming time?
I would say match the following. I got somewhere around 12. If I could say like 4 I got in the first 60 with all situation. It is not direct at all. It's like, again, five terminologies, and it's all situational, what they have given.
It'll be a one word to match, or it'll be a sentence to be matched?
It'll be around 2 sentences whole. And we have around 6. There'll be one word on your right hand side, and you'll have 2 liners or 3 liners in your left hand side, and you need to drag the left to the right.
Sorry, I think right to left, right?
Left to right.
From left, you have to drag it to right.
Drag it to right.
Drag and place in the box.
Place it in the box.
I understand. Okay. That should have been very great time.
Solid, royal time.
Only 2-3 minutes, those questions.
There was one question where I closely took around 5 minutes. It was like 6, we had 6 options. So I had to figure out, because 3 I was able to, the remaining 3 I didn't know where exactly I had to drag and drop. And that's when I started using scanning. I was like, okay, even if I'm losing this one question, I would lose. I didn't want to lose the remaining 5 questions. I was like, it's okay, just drag, drop, finish it off, move to the next one.
Got you. So you would have got multi-choice, multiple choice, check marks, and you would have got match the following 3 items. Apart from this, any other variety came for you? True or false, fill in the blanks?
No.
So these are yet to come. By the way, people who are watching this video, in future, you will see true or false, fill in the blanks. One more interesting is called a hotspot. It's yet to come. I'm waiting for somebody to tell that I did it, yet to come. Okay, that's there. Now, I know the last few minutes you are rushing because you lost your time in the beginning. The last few questions when you go on, what strategy you have to follow to go faster?
I would not say the last few, the 2 sections of 60-60. The second section of 60, I don't remember reading the question. Just the last sentence I read, check the options. And even there, I'm reading the answers only for the keywords. And if there is nothing what I can get, I read the last but one sentence. I've already read the options. So there is something, a trace of thing, what's there. And even if I don't find, only then I'm reading the question only with the scan words. I'm just scanning through. You would not believe I just had 68 minutes for the 3rd section left.
Tight.
Too tight.
Yeah. See the way you are. When you're prepared in a practice exam, you have 60 minutes balance with you.
Balance.
60 questions. That's a real Olympics game.
I felt it was way beyond Olympics now.
Yeah. It depends that day. You cannot tell everybody will get the same paper. It depends. Somebody will get an easy paper. We cannot judge this. It's so much changing. Okay, now last few questions. How much minutes you had to submit the button, or it is all time over?
I made sure I had at least 15 minutes.
So
what I did was the strategy what I used for the second slot, the same strategy I applied here. So I could say 15 minutes. And I had just flagged only one question. So I reviewed. Each time I read, I had all the 4 options right. So I just randomly marked one and I just like, okay, done. I don't want to juggle behind all these questions again. Because each time, if I review, I might change my mindset. So I was like, okay, done. If I'm losing, it's only one question. I don't want remaining. I don't want to lose the rest.
And when you click the last submit button, are you sure that you're going to get the certificate?
The first 60 questions shook my confidence. The second 60 was like Usain Bolt race. So I was like, okay, let me see if Usain Bolt can win it or not. So it was in that way. And even the third, I was like, okay, if I pass, it's enough. I'm happy with that. I came to that mindset. Then
you have prayed and clicked the last button.
Yeah. I just clicked it. I closed my eyes and I sat for 5 minutes. I didn't do anything. Later, when I opened, I just saw the letter C. I was like, okay, what does that C mean now? What exactly does it mean? Because my mind was not reading it. It said congratulations and a 3-liner was there. Okay. Like, I can see the letter C, but my mind was not reading the congratulations. I took some time, took my breath. I was like, okay, finally I passed. That's all. Again, it was a plain smile what I had. I was not super excited. I was not feeling bad. Nothing. I was like, okay, I've passed. It was like just this plain expression what I had on my face.
That's good. Really good. Thanks, Sowmya, for giving a full incident of what happened. Of course, there are a lot more to share. Of course, we have PMI ethics. We cannot tell more about the exams. But again, it's good to know about the entry of the exam and exam pattern model, how to behave in the exam hall, how to come to see the results. Really good. Now, give little tips about do's and don'ts. If you see something you can share with people who are preparing for the exams.
Okay. The first do's I will say, make sure your mindset is positive. What mindset I had was, it's like a pseudo win mindset I created when I was doing the mocks itself. I literally trained my mind in such a way. It's like, if I'm losing, I've got nothing to lose in my life. I still have a decent job where I can live my living. PMP is not just going to rate me on what I'm going to get. So that's the mindset. It's like, it's losing, it's okay, fine. So what happens here is, you will be confident in everything, whatever you do. The more the word need, the moment you say, no, I need to do the PMP, I need to crack it, I need that panic comes in, that pressure comes onto your head. So I was like, no, it's just a want. So I trained my mind in such a way, so I was able to smile at each question. I could do it confidently, though I was not confident enough to go ahead with some of the questions where I just literally scanned the keywords for both the question and the answer.
Okay.
So that way I was like little confident. So your mindset plays a major role there, and your presence of mind. And you need to breathe a lot. That's very much important, because it takes away your breath. The question sometimes takes away your breath. You'll skip your heartbeat also sometimes. So that way you'll have to breathe a lot. You'll have to give some oxygen supply. Those were the things what I kept in my mind when I did my. It's you're mentally be strong. That's what I try to do. And if I could say as a suggestion, stick to one book. I never juggled between books. It was like just one book, read the concepts thoroughly, just one read, enough. The more you read, the reading is a never ending process. I understood it within 1 month. I was like, okay, I'm done with reading. More and more and more I read. It's like going on and on, because the subject is really vast. So there's no point continuously reading it over and over again. So I didn't go to do any revision of the books or anything. I just read the concepts. I understood the concepts, directly jumped into mock, because that's where your application of your knowledge works. So whatever you have read, ultimately you'll have to use it somewhere. Otherwise, there's no point in understanding the concept. So just jumped into the prepcast and the mocks what ShriLearning gave. So did it, applied whatever is possible. And yeah, I have scored below. Initially, it was around 68, 69. But later prepcast, I made sure I maintained 75. And the last prepcast, I'll tell you, the fourth one, I was not in a mood to give the prepcast. I taken a nap in the afternoon, and with half, because I had to do it, my mind somewhere tells go and do the fourth one. I woke up in the half asleep. I just did all the 180 questions, and to my surprise, I still got 75. So even in my sleep mode, the PMP is still registered. It's like engraved in my brain cells. That's what I found. So had I given a proper attention, I'm sure I would have got more than 80 is what I felt. So that's like somewhere it boosts your confidence. But this gave me a super confidence that, okay, even if I'm asleep, I can still crack the exam. So that was the positivity what I had.
Nice. Nice. Good to know. Thanks for giving those positive inputs to tell that, hey, do this, don't do that. Great. Super, Soumya. Great. First of all, thanks a lot for coming up on a weekend post lunch, because mostly post is slightly sleepy mode, and you're able to come active and give the details. Still, I feel just one day has gone with your certification. Now, slowly, day by day, you'll start recollecting and feeling the energy of what you learned. Now you have to start applying in your corporate life, on your personal life, and that should make you to drive towards higher in your leadership cadre. I keep telling people that certificate is only one part of it. The next part is materializing it. It could be of financial benefit. It should be of growth in your life. All should happen balanced way, right? So good wishes for your success, and good wishes from ShriLearning as well.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I mean, thanks is not just a word for ShriLearning, because this is the only one institute where I've seen where you are given a chance to attend again for the next session or the next section. Because I enrolled somewhere in May, and then I took it up again somewhere in the just as a refreshment course in November. And since agile concepts, I had like zero idea. I asked you, Shri, is it okay if I can attend? He's like, yeah, please come. It's okay. Agile is something new. You have to learn it, and I want you to crack it. That was the motivation. So this doesn't happen with anyone or anyone in the market. This what makes you stand out in the crowd. So that's one best thing. And you are an inspiring leader. I mean, in fact, you
Thanks.
have become a role model for me now.
Oh, great. Good to know. So humble. Thanks a lot for trusting us and keep winning more. I appreciate your great success. Let your LinkedIn be very busy all the time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thanks all viewers for watching this program. I know it's a good interview with a lot of details. Some will drag and listen to that, some will listen fully. But whatever it is, get the rhythm of where to start, where to end. And one thing I observed with her is always stay with smile, stay positive, and keep moving with a confidence. That's very important, right? Thanks all for watching here and leave your comments. We will get back to you on more details. Thank you.